then this one time I got a phone call from an area code that I didn't know, and I took a chance, picked up the phone, and this guy's like, hey, is this Tyrone Wells? And I'm like, yeah, this is Tyrone, who's this? This guy says, my name is Eric, and I'm calling you from Utah. And I was like, what's up, Eric from Utah? And he said, check it out, you have this song that you wrote, and it's me and my girlfriend, it's our song. And I said, thank you for calling me from Utah to tell me that, that's nice. And he goes, well, the real reason I'm calling you is because I thought it'd be awesome if you could play at mine. And I thought for sure he was going to say my wedding, but he didn't. He said, I thought it'd be awesome if you could play at my proposal. And I was like, wait, what did you say? He goes, I thought it'd be so cool if you could play at my proposal. And I said, I've actually never done that before, what do you want me to do? And he said, I just thought it'd be so cool if when I went down on my knee, if you like, appeared. And started playing. And I laughed too, I'm like, really? He said, yeah. So we talked about it for a while on the phone, and I'm like, finally, I said, you know what, man, this is just too weird and too cool to pass up. I'm totally in. So he flew in from Utah to Southern California, where I'm living now, and we stayed on the Balboa Beach. I don't know if any of you have been there, but there's the Balboa Beach, and there's a pier that goes out from the beach, and at the end of the pier is this Ruby's restaurant. And so Eric says, meet me at such and such a time on the pier. He said, look for a dude in a suit. I'd never met him before. I'm like, all right. I said, look for a tall, bald guy with a guitar. He's like, right. So we met on the pier, and we're shaking each other's hand. We're both like nervous and excited. And he's like, all right, Tyrone, this is how we're going to do this, all right? He said, I want you to go down and you have to be inside the Ruby's restaurant. Look out the window. I'm going to go to the very end of the pier. When you see me hit my knee, you got to run out there and start playing. Okay, all right, cool, man. So I go take up my place in the window, and I remember I'm standing there in the window, and my hands were all sweaty. I'm like, this is the weirdest gig I've ever played. So I'm watching, and I see this girl start walking down the pier, and her name is Deborah, his girlfriend, and her parents are in on the whole thing. So she thinks that she's there for a musical or a show or something, and they're like, hey, we're early for the show, so let's just take a stroll down the pier. It's a beautiful night. She's like, all right, cool. And so they're walking down the pier, and I know it's Deborah, even though I've never seen her before. She's in a dress, dressed up, and there's two older people behind her walking, going like this. I'm like, that has to be Deborah. So I look and I see Deborah coming, and I see that now Eric has seen Deborah, but she hasn't seen him. So you can see this guy's heart like beating out of his chest as she's walking toward him. And then she sees him, kind of freaks out, starts running toward him. He runs toward her, he goes down on his knee, and that's my cue. But if you hit pause in the story, there's a family of 5 that's moved in front of the window, and they're eating burgers and fries. And I've got my guitar on my body, and I'm like standing right over their table, and I think they were like a little nervous, like, excuse us, can we help you? And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I start explaining what's going on, and then they were like, oh, that's so cool. So we're all kind of watching it happen. I'm like, this must be Deborah, okay, it's happening. And he's down on his knee, and they're saying, like, it's so cool that you're doing this. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, right? He's still down on his knee. I'm like, that's kind of an honor to be a part of this. And then they're like, when are you supposed to go? And I'm like, now! So I like, throw open the door and I start sprinting towards them because I was worried that I missed my moment. And I know from Deborah's perspective it was all very overwhelming, because first she's like, why is Eric at the end of this pier from Utah in a suit? And then I know she was like, why is that tall bald guy sprinting at me right now? And I run right up next to him, I try to be calm, I start playing their song, and then everything's going great, she mellows out, but the worst part about this story is that she said no. That's actually not true, she said no. I got you good. But it did dawn on me while I was playing the song that she could say no, and how awkward that would be for me. I'd be like, I'm gonna go get a burger, you guys should talk, or something. But since that point, and because I tell that story, I've played at 3 other proposals, no joke, and they're all pretty funny. I'm not going to tell you anything else. But well, one of them, I was in the bushes, and I jumped out of the bushes, and I scared this poor girl half to death. It was awesome. Well, here we go. This is Sea Breeze. Was it just a sweet dream that lingers in the morning like a melody, over and over, all through the day? I can't stop thinking about how I'm feeling this way. She moves like sea breeze, swirling around me. The fragrance that she leaves hangs in the air, soft like the whisper. She's calling me to her. Some of you know this. If you do, you can help me out. Come on. She moves like sea breeze.